Hi everyone, welcome to ZyNerd session on NEET UG 2025, the guide towards counseling. This is the first session we are running for 2025 NEET UG. We had shared a lot of data for candidates over the previous years, and we are ZyNerd. A quick intro on us. We have been in this for more than 10 years now. We have been helping candidates get the best seat for their rank. We get into the picture after the candidates who complete their NEET UG examination complete their examination. So we start after the examinations are complete and help them get the best seat for based on their performance. Whatever you have performed, whatever your rank is, based on that, what is the best you can get, that is what we guide you on. We give you information on that. We help you with the rules, regulations, the eligibility documentation process. And this is our first session on the Pro Guide to NEET UG 2025 counseling. So we will take you through the entire counseling process in a series of master classes. This is the first one in the series. When you are approaching the counseling, I've got my rank, completed my examination, I'm waiting for my rank. In this period of 1 to 1.5 months where the results are declared, the primary thing that you will be confused about is, for my marks, what would be the rank expected? And the my marks part is also a little not clear at this stage for you, because possibly you're looking at what the feedback from the students in terms of what how many questions they have attempted and the answers for those questions. You will get clarity on exactly the number of questions attended and the answers exactly marked only after the OMR sheet scan copy is published. That is possibly expected by the end of this month. So today is May 10th. By the end of this month, May end, we possibly are expecting that the OMR sheets will be published. And the second part is the answer sheets. You will be looking at the answer keys and against the OMR sheets. This will also be published by the end of this month. So wait for that. Till that point in time, currently most of you, what you will be doing is, will be looking at YouTube channels or coaching centers feedback on marks versus ranks. That is the primary thing that is going on over the last 1 week across every channel which is into NEET UG. Every coaching center is trying to figure that out. We will also take you through that part today. So here we give you a very structured approach towards managing the counseling. When we say a structured approach, we are a bunch of professionals who have defined a proper framework on how to approach the counseling. We have mapped every seat across India. 1,18,000 seats, let us say they were there in 2024. Every seat, how it is allotted, where it was allotted, every seat, not only the seat with respect to reference to your state. Every seat's eligibility, every seat's quota category possibilities, what all are possible in terms of eligibility and what all are possible in terms of opportunities or possibilities across India, that we map. And then for every candidate, we'll help them with the eligibility and how to approach the counseling, because when you're attending multiple counselings to get the best seat, what is very important is understanding the rules, regulations of each of the counseling process. This is just a brief brief intro. We'll just go through the guide. So most of the queries that we have at this stage, what I will suggest is this is a long series of webinars. You might go through one YouTube video for knowing the marks versus ranks. You might have gone through maybe 10 hours, 15 hours of YouTube videos over the last 6-7 days for going through what will be the rank for my mark, and therefore trying to get a reference of what will be the possibilities. Now the primary thing to do over the next 2 months before the counseling is to get ready for the counseling. Obviously marks versus ranks is the first step towards taking the next towards deciding what is the next approach, but there is a lot beyond that. Possibly it is time to fix up what possibly will be the rank range and move towards better sessions, better videos on getting prepared for the counseling. Then that is what we will do. We'll also take you through a reference of what has been the estimated or predicted mark by every different YouTube channel or possibly the best coaching centers, and how much different it is and why it is impossible to predict by any why is it is impossible for anyone to predict as well. And queries and confusions, what will be the queries and confusions you usually have? We'll give you some scenarios. You might fall under some of these scenarios. You will be confused as to how to approach the counseling, or you will need answers for many of these queries. One, the difficulty level was so high, what should I do? The difficulty level was high. Now what should I do? The difficulty level was high, but it was high for everyone. Now there are differences between a simple paper and a highly difficult paper. Obviously, if the difficulty level was high, then possibly those who have prepared really well might score higher, whereas in a simpler paper, somebody who has prepared not so good might be equivalent to somebody who has also prepared good. So that difference might come out actually in this examination because the difficulty level was high. Unfortunately, because of what happened last year, NTA has come up with a very high difficulty level paper, and that is really unfortunate for the candidates who are participating in NEET UG this year. But one thing that we need to understand is that similar to me, whoever is participating in NEET, whoever is participating in NEET UG 2025, whoever has prepared similar to me will also have the same difficulty level, and the ranks possibly are not supposed to change too drastically because the difficulty level is high. Note that the marks will change, but let us say I and another candidate, both of us were preparing the same way. If it was simple, both of us would have achieved the same results in terms of ranks. I would have got 10,000, he would have got 10,001. Because of a difficult paper, this is not going to vary much. Yes, there are variations, we do understand, but that is not going to vary much. So please don't take a very harsh step on based on the difficulty level and assume that it is not going to be possible at all because you are referring to marks and not final ranks. Even if there is someone who is with you who is actually upset or dejected, please ask them to wait till the ranks, because the ranks might turn up really high, really good compared to what was there last year. Obviously, you would have gone through many videos to get that information. Now, should I look at marks or ranks now? I don't have my exact rank. How do I proceed? We will take you through that. How do I know the counseling eligibility? I belong to Maharashtra. These are usual queries that come up. I belong to Maharashtra. My daughter studied in Karnataka from standard 1st to 12th. Will she be eligible for Karnataka? I am primarily interested in Karnataka because I am staying in Karnataka. I am a native of Tamil Nadu, but my daughter did 6th and 12th too in Karnataka. But I am interested in Telangana. Am I eligible for Tamil Nadu? Am I eligible for Telangana? What are the rules for these in case of multiple eligibility possibilities? My son studied in Delhi from 11th to 12th. Now, 9th to 12th, will I be eligible for Delhi institutes? Those are queries that need answers. How do admission happen? How do admissions happen? I know of all India and state counselings, but should I apply for both counselings separately? Is it a one counselling, or should I apply for 3-4 counselings? Am I eligible for multiple counselings? Can I approach the institute directly? Right now, there are many candidates, many of our subscribers who have gone to institutes and tried to figure out if they can get a seat. Absolutely, without information that no admission happens directly through the institute today as far as MBBS seats are concerned. There is no point in going to an institute, approaching them directly, unless it is for information on evaluation. You will not get an admission through the institute. It will be through a proper process of All India and State Counselling Authority. No agents, no institute can influence the admission allotment. Everything happens through an ethical process. So getting to know that ethical process instead of going to the institute, spending a lot of time trying to figure out how otherwise I can get admission is always the way to go. How many counselings can I attempt? This is my 3rd attempt. Should I take a decision to go for the next year, or should I take whatever is available this year? I have a rank of 5,000. I might get a good seat. A rank of 5,000 possibly is a good rank. I am expecting a rank of 5,000 to 10,000. I'll get a seat. Should I still take the effort to approach to understand everything and approach the counseling, right? Yes, you will have to take the effort, because even one choice higher is better. I might attend 3 to 4 counselings. What all certificates do I need? When should I get those certificates ready? I might come in a rank range of 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs. Now, what are the possibilities of getting a government seat? That does not, 3 lakhs to 5 lakhs does not necessarily mean everybody who scores between this rank range will not get a government seat. There might be possibilities based on whether you studied in a government school, whether you have a depending upon the quota category that you are eligible for, depending upon what kind of reservation your state carries, or depending upon how much you will be able to spend financially per year for a particular seat. So that those make a difference if you understand what all possibilities exist. Like let us say my father is an ex-serviceman. Then where all possibilities exist, what all possibilities exist, in which states can I apply, that is a query that you will have to get answers to. I belong to OBC NCL category. I belong to OBC non-creamy layer category. In NTA in the form they asked me something, I mentioned OBC NCL, but I have a BCA certificate. Are these different? Are these the same? I belong to the state of Meghalaya. There are multiple options for me that they say Nigrims, Rims Impal, and even in some other states. How do I opt for them? And I am a native of Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry, 2 states. I am a native of 2 states. Will I be eligible? So all these queries, like I'm getting calls from private institutes saying that we'll offer you seats. I'm ready to pay possibly 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs for ensuring that I get a seat. Should I do that? Can I do that? Will it be possible to reserve a seat? Absolutely impossible. So these are the queries that we have, but you need clear answers to those queries. So when we go through these master classes one by one, you will possibly spend on these classes alone 20 to 25 hours within those 2 to 3 months. That is the time that it takes to understand every process, or you will be running around with queries. If you attend one class on a particular counseling process, let us say you are attending Maharashtra counseling process, one session that we do on Maharashtra counseling process, you will have every information on Maharashtra. You will not have to run through every YouTube channel to figure out what is the information, ask someone to figure out that information. One long session will have all that information. So that is what we will do. How do we approach this? We will quickly approach this. This class itself starts as the first prime class. So how do you manage the NEET UG counseling? That is the first part. We just tell you how you can manage the counseling, starting from where, and then how do you approach it step by step. So you take a notebook, put down, this is the first step, this is the information that I'll collect. Second step, this is the information I'll collect. If you go through that, then watching multiple videos, multiple suggestions, etc., that itself will be sufficient, and we have been doing this for the last 10 years. You ask anybody who has gone through ZyNerd, you will get to know this is the best possible approach. Somebody else might suggest this approach. You might have a YouTube channel which is very structured. Go through that, fine, but follow a proper structured approach instead of randomly collecting information and then going ahead. Let it be trustable as well. Counseling and seats available. What are the different counselings? Which seats are available under which counselings? Eligibility. Am I eligible for these set of seats? Those answers. And then if I am eligible for a set of seats, fine, I am eligible for these many seats. Will it be possible for my rank to get these seats? That is something that you will have to spend a lot of time on. When will it be possible? Round 1, round 2, round 3, and the affordability part. What is the fee structure? We just look at the fee structure, we might miss out on the hostel fee, additional fee, and this, that, etc. The total cost of actually that education is different from the tuition fee that is mentioned in the brochure or in the prospectus or in multiple websites or in YouTube channels. So what is the total cost? And then how do I evaluate all these institutes? I am evaluating, I have 15 different good seat possibilities. How do I order them? This is the first seat. What are the factors that I need to evaluate them? That needs a lot of effort. So if instead of spending time now on multiple opinions, etc., if we are able to drill down to, let us say, 15 institutes or 30 institutes, these are the institutes that might be possible for me, highly likely. You are able to evaluate all of them. People even travel to all the institutes, to every institute, to try to figure out what is the feedback from previous year's candidates, try to call them up and get feedback. This 2 months, next 2 months before the counseling starts, if you are able to evaluate these institutes and put them in the right order, 1, 2, 3, while filling choices, you will have absolutely no confusion, as against spending a lot of time on debating on what will be the marks versus ranks, completely on looking at what will be the possibilities, trying a broad range. Even if it is 50, it is okay. 60 is okay. But getting this order ready based on what is eligible, possible, and affordable, that is the next step that we will be going ahead with. And certificates and documents required. What are the certificates and documents required? Many of the certificates might be available within a week or 10 days. So you apply, you might get those certificates. But there might be 1 or 2 certificates. In some cases, category certificates, nativity certificates, eligibility certificates which will deny you, in case you don't have them, deny you eligibility in certain counselings. So in that case, those certificates which take time, let us say it takes 1 month, and the counseling is going to start in July mid. That is the expected timeline now. Maybe July first week is the earliest it can start, but let us say July mid. I will have to get these certificates and apply for these certificates right by the time, at least by June. If there is a delay, some unwarranted issue, then I will have at least a month. Still better, I apply for the certificates now, get everything ready so that my required documents are ready. Process and rules of counseling. Every counseling has a rule. Once the counseling starts in July, you will be running a 3-month process, going through a 3-month process where you will have round 1, round 2, round 3 within the same counseling. And then you will have other counselings in case you are attending all India and state counselings, 2 different state counselings, you are different looking for deemed private institute seats. All these rounds, what are the rules? Can I attend this round and also attend another round? How will I take admission? If I take admission in one counselling and then move on to a different seat in another counselling, what will happen to my refund? All these rules need to be very clear right at the beginning when you start, so that your decisions are very clear whenever the situation comes in to decide. So, and for all these, what is the information that is required? You might require information not only of closing ranks of previous years. Now, everybody might have the closing ranks of previous years, but you might need information of the closing ranks as you go. When a particular round happens, you're taking a decision to join within the next 5 days. By that time, you will need so much of information on whether I need to join the seat. If I am absolutely looking only for one counseling, you may not need. But if you're looking for multiple counselings, should I join the seat? Should I wait for another counseling? If I wait, will I be able to join it at a later point in time? When does the results come? In case I don't join, can I participate in the same counseling again for the same seat? What is the probability of getting the same seat if I wait for another counseling and not get admitted in the seat? So all these kinds of information are required for making decisions in terms of rules, regulations, the current data, everything. So that you need to be aware of. So this is the framework that we suggest. 1, look at all the counselings and seats available and what you are eligible for. Then on the possibility, I am eligible for these. Are these possible for me? Yes, these are possible for me. Am I okay with this? Affordable for me. Affordable in terms of cost, affordable in terms of maybe other factors that you have. I don't want to ask my kid to move on to a different location. I want it within a particular state or within a particular region. In that case, it is not affordable from a proximity basis. So all these we take you through. The first step, we will take you through the marks versus ranks. This we will take some time, because I am sure everybody would have gone through entire set of marks versus ranks debate over the last 7 days. And obviously, if you have gone through 10 different YouTube channels, possibly very less chance that you are not confused. All the channels we have gone through, including the best of the channels, best of the coaching centers, best of the YouTube channels with most subscribers. Now we may not necessarily be the best, but with most subscribers, all of them have over the last week shared their views on what their predictions on what marks versus ranks will be. We'll give you what they have told and not a prediction from our end. If you're waiting for a prediction, it is not a prediction from our end, but we will give you a combined information of what everyone has told in terms of the coaching centers and in terms of the best YouTube channels, most subscribed YouTube channels, and why everyone gets it wrong every year and 1 or 2 get it right. First, the paper was very difficult. Obviously, this is a feedback. Compared to last year, the paper was difficult. That is a feedback. And possibly some of the channels keep telling that previous years it was similar to 2016, 2019. So go refer 2016. We have got a lot of queries saying you go refer 2016 marks versus ranks. Absolutely wrong, because 2016 one had very less candidates participating compared to this year. It is 20.8 lakhs this year. Competition is huge. It was far lesser. So if you're taking a marks versus ranks, and even if you're extrapolating, many states did not participate in 2016 in NEET, and many states, it was the first time NEET was done. So it was a completely different scenario in 2016. Don't go looking back at this. This at least is not the right approach. We may not tell you the right approach, but this information is not the right way to go ahead. Going back to 2016 PDF, figuring out what will be the marks versus rank, when there are possibly at around 70-60% only who were attending at that point in time, there is no point in going back and figuring out. Even if you take all the estimations, this will turn out to be not even near. A lot percentage of questions were difficult. This is obviously right feedback from many candidates that a percentage of questions were difficult. We come to understand from different coaching centers that at least 15 to 20 questions in each of the different sections like botany, zoology or physics and chemistry were difficult, and some of the questions were very lengthy, which made it difficult for some candidates, not direct, immediately answerable, or from past year questions, which made it time availability and an issue. We know this obviously, we are not going to get much into that. Some factors that we need to consider in terms of how we arrive at data. One is lesser number of participants. What is the correlation? Is, let us say there are 21 lakhs. We have been told by certain references that 21 lakhs candidates participated. Earlier we had a reference of 23.3 lakhs applicants. This was a reference slightly lower than previous year when the applications closed, but usually there is only a very minimal maybe a 3% or so people who don't attend finally after applying. But this year we have been told that 21 lakhs almost took the test. We believe it will be somewhere in between only, not very less comparatively. So let us say the 21 lakhs have attended. This means 10% lesser than last year. 23.3 attended last year. This is possibly a 2.3 lakhs less, which is 10% lesser candidates than last year. Which means, do I have a 10% higher chance? Unfortunately, would be good if it is like that, but unfortunately that is not how it works. Whenever someone drops out, 2.3 lakh candidates drop out, it is not a proper proportion of those who are good, those who are not good, average dropping out. Usually it is the last set who are unprepared, who have realized possibly that going ahead and preparing again and again when I am getting only 130 to 150 to 160 every year and not being able to crack NEET, there is no point in doing that. This was expected over many as gradually NEET comes into the NEET becomes the exam that they are continuously approaching again and again. This possibly is the reason. So when there are 10% lesser, possibly we are not giving you confidence over here, but still when there are 10% lesser does not mean you have a 10% additional chance. There is possibly a lesser competition. Good, very good, but still might not be directly a correlation. Students' response, very difficult. This is something that you need to consider. One, when a student comes out of the exam, there is obviously a difficulty level. When in a mock test or in an exam in the coaching center, they perform really well, and then they come back and see a few questions which are not up to their expectations of difficulty, then what happens is that students starts thinking that these are very difficult questions. These questions are not what we expected, and there is an impact during the exam itself. So that when that happens, when the student comes out, there is a negative feedback on the examination itself. Now when this happens, what clearly happens is when one student mentions that the others also, even if they are done pretty much good, they start mentioning that it is very, very difficult. Happened in NEET PG a bit last year when there were two shifts. One shift was supposedly very, very difficult because some people said that it was very difficult, but finally both shifts had similar, very minimal 10 marks difference compared to each other. Similarly, when one student mentions that it is difficult, over a period of time, this carries on as a message, and finally we feel that it has been very, 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 very difficult because almost everyone is saying that. There are institutes which say that 650 marks last year, somebody would have scored 650 marks last year and got a rank of X. The same candidate can get the same with 530 or 530 marks. the same rank as last year, whatever was there. Let us say this was 25,655 was 25,000 last year. Somebody with 530 marks can get this year, 120 marks lesser. This possibly has to do with every candidate actually coming out and saying that it has been very, very difficult and I did not do these many questions. May not be a right reference. This might not end up being like this. So be ready for this. We will also let you know how we can be ready for this. The feedback from candidates also has another factor. When they have not done good, there is they tend to usually say that the question paper is very, very difficult. When the question paper is very, very difficult, like this year, we know that the question paper is very, very difficult. Then because of expectations, there is also a reference from the candidate. There is also a response from the candidate usually saying that it has been very, very difficult. So be ready for everything because of the pressure that they have. When actually the question paper is very, very difficult, should not have happened at all. The response is very, very acute. So that may be a factor. We might be over evaluating whatever the difficulty level is because everyone mentions that. So exactly the results might not be like 530 will be equivalent to 650. Somewhere in between is what we think might happen. So YouTube responses of 120 plus marks or lesser. See, there are a lot of channels which have done what we call polls. So when they do polls, when most of the channels do polls, what happens is they get information from Telegram groups, etc., etc. When they do polls, they put up an estimate saying 700 marks plus these many candidates have said I will score 700. 650 marks plus these many candidates have mentioned. So this is a percentage. So out of this, 20% will score 700 plus. 20% will score these many, 15% will score these many, and therefore these are the ranks is what they will do based on whatever samples they have collected from the polls. Mostly those people who are below 120 or even below 300, 320, they don't participate in the polls at all. Most people who are not Telegram savvy, who are not into these channels, etc., that is at least 30 to 40%. Those might even score higher marks. They know what they want. They have complete information. They might have already got into actually looking at documents, certificates, etc. They might not have got into this. So this is not a sample reference. And this, what will happen with this is people will think that there will be there will be more people who have done well, and that also has a negative impact because those who did not do well usually don't participate in the polls. Even if I am getting 500 marks, if I think I might not have done well up to my expectations, usually they don't participate. That is a flaw with these polls and the references, the samples that are taken. When there are 24 lakh candidates and you take around 1000 samples or so, obviously unless you do a proper demographic split saying that these many states are there, so I'll take X numbers from these many states, these many government school students will attend, these many people from different demographic based on factors will attend. If that sampling is done, even if it is 10,000, we might be nearer, but most of them take a sample of 300 to 400 and go ahead and give you predictions, so might not work out. So this is something that we have done where we have plotted the predictions of every channel. So these are all coaching center 1, 2, 3, the best ones. So we've gone through all the best coaching centers in terms of numbers and in terms of advertisements we see. So all the coaching centers, and these are YouTube channels which are famous YouTube channels, and these are career guidance websites or information websites. So all these we have taken and we have put this up for you. These are the predictions. So when we say predictions, how have we done? What does this YouTube channel want? Mention as the marks for rank 10,000. I want to get rank 10,000. 10,000 would mean an obvious government seat, a good government seat, possibly in your state itself or in all India. This would mean a good seat. 15,000 possibly a mid-rank seat. 25,000 is possibly something where under all India, if you are looking at, this will give you a government seat. Last year closed at around 24,500 for general category. Okay, so that is the rank reference that we have. Then possibly around 50,000, depending upon your state, you might have on your quota category, you might have a government seat in state, and around 1 lakh, 1.5 lakhs, you might have a private institute seat at a lower fee structure. So these reference points are what we have taken. So basically, what have we done? For rank 10,000, last year was what? 677 marks, got rank 10,000. What is it that these channels are saying which will get you rank 10,000 this year? How many marks do you need to score? You might have a reference of the marks, you might have an approximate reference, it might go up by 15-20 marks, not more than that, or be reduced by 15-20 marks in that range, not more than that if you have got your answers right. So this is the reference. Coaching Center 1, YouTube channel 1 has not given us a reference. Coaching Center 1 says that 610 marks is what? This is a steep one, will get you rank 10,000, which means last year 677 marks got rank 10,000. This year you have to score 610 and you will get rank 10,000. Coaching Center 3 says 531 is enough. Look at the gap. These are actual predictions from YouTube's. They were rushing into predictions because they wanted to have the first in terms of views, and most of them get their subscriptions, everything, if somebody comes in, does a logs into the predictor, and that is the primary purpose. Not even 1 ounce in terms of what the candidate will go through when they ounce of guilt in terms of what the candidate will go through when they look at such information. So 531, Coaching Center 4 is 531, Coaching Center 5, all of them are top coaching centers, 599, and Coaching Center 6 says 630, and one website, possibly these two have copied each other, we don't know, the last two, that is why we have put them together, 630 for 10,000. Now, out of this is a large range. Out of this, somebody will finally come back and say, I was right at this range because everybody is there. Correct? Did they do a proper sampling? If one person had done a proper sampling, obviously the rest did not do it. What do you believe? What do we believe? We don't know. This is a very, very tough thing now because actually a sampling is difficult to do with the proper demographics. So getting the right marks versus rank range is difficult. We'll try to tell you how you can work that out, even though you cannot predict, how you can build a broader range, and you can do that. Similarly, for rank 15,000, Coaching Center 1 is saying that it is 598, and there are other coaching centers or YouTube channels which are saying 620 is required for rank 15,000. Now, we want you to look at some information here. 670 marks had rank 15,000 last year. Somebody who scores 670, obviously it was easy. So even though I scored 670, I was at 15,000 last year. And this year someone is saying, even if you get 520, 530, which is a 150 marks difference, which means 40 questions were too difficult that everybody did not attend. As in basically for everyone at this rank range, 40 questions they would have done less. That is what these centers are saying. Will it be right? We don't know. Even otherwise, you think of it, there were around 60 questions which were, let us say, difficult. It does not necessarily mean that if 60 questions were difficult, everybody would have left out the 60 questions and everybody would have got 0 out of that 60 questions. So we are not entirely sure if this is the right reference point. We will have to wait. We are also not sure, but this looks very, very steep. This, unfortunately, what will happen is, let us say if you go with these centers, because I might score 515, what would I want? I would want this to be true, correct? So that I get a rank below 15,000. So I would assume this coaching center is the right reference. I would prepare myself for 515, saying that I will get a rank of 15,000 because this is the best, that this is coaching center is the best reference for me because I might get only 515. This only says that it is 15,000. If I go with another coaching center, it will say that 515 will be rank 1 lakh. So I won't look at that information. I'll look at this information. Be happy at least for now. Possibly show that to my parents. And then I will start working on 15,000. Possibly if this ends up being wrong, your entire work for the next 1 month towards looking at institute's possibilities might not have a right reference. So we'll let you know how best to approach it. It is difficult to gauge the information, but we'll let you know how best to approach it. You have institutes which are saying at this rank range, possibly after this, there's a slight difference in terms of the difference in ranges between different coaching centers. So this is where what it says, but still you can see that there is a sharp difference of 60 to 70 marks in between some ranks. And these two, coaching center 6 and website 1, these two actually have made it think that still, even though the difficulty, like we said, even though everybody says it is difficult, they might end up scoring higher marks than what they actually believe in terms of I mean, if there will be other candidates who will score higher marks than what everybody believes in. So that is what these coaching centers are saying. The rest of them have got a probable wide range in terms of what their expectations are. So if you look at 1 lakh over here, last year 583 marks, if you had scored, you would have got 1 lakh. This year 460 to 490 is enough, or possibly here everybody comes into the same range saying 460. Basically all the clustering happens over here is what everybody is looking at too. So this is possibly the range that we are looking at, is what everybody is saying. Now, how do I approach this? We'll take an example. So possibly, let us say we take the example of a candidate who is expecting 610, maybe less numbers this year compared to last year. 610 last year was around 60,000, I think, rank. So I am expecting 610. I have this information. This is taken from different centers too. If you want, you can mail us. We'll also get you the actual videos or where we took this from, what centers these are, etc. You can also have a look at the videos. So here, let us say I'm looking at an expecting 610 marks. My first step, like we said, is marks versus ranks. There is no doubt that this needs to be done. We are not saying this does not need to be done, not the way it is done. So here I am looking at the information and trying to figure out what everybody is saying with reference to 610. The nearest possible options for 610 is what I am marking out. So here I see that over here most of the centers, at least better ones, say that it will be 10,000, two of them. Some say that 610 will fall somewhere around this range, maybe around 15,000 to 10,000. Some say that it might even come to 25,000. So for me, when I am looking at 610 as a range, it might be better than 10,000, which is good for me, or it might fall within a very, very broad range. Usually we give them a 3,000 rank range. This time, possibly 10,000 to 25,000. The worst I can expect is 25,000 plus maybe even a little 30,000. So possibly I will mark myself to be ready for 10,000 to 30,000 based on predictions only, also based on the fact that there is expected at least a 50 marks reduction. Maybe that will help you also with where 590 is. So 50 marks reduction is possibly expected. Let us say there is a 50 marks reduction. My 610 or something will be falling between these ranges. So 25,000 to 30,000 compared to last year. That is also something that I can refer. Like last year for 610, somebody got 60,000 rank. This year, if there is a 50 mark reduction, I will have to look at 660 of last year, and that, where will it take me? That is what we need to do. So that might be between 25 to 30 is what it is. So look at last year's rank and take a very, very broad range. I might end up being 10,000 like some of these centers say. I might end up being 30,000 like one or two of the harsh ones say. I will also be ready for 10,000. This is a large rank range, but still you can work out. Only difference is, previously when we always suggested, let us say 10,000 as a rank range to start with. To start your currently your only step is, next step is to start with a particular rank. If it is 10,000, what is expected, we would say start from 7,000 to 13,000, or this is the range that we would have mentioned you to start with, which is the 6,000 to 8,000 rank range. All those institutes that fall between 7,000, 13,000 all India rank, you pull them out and then start your next step of evaluating them, looking at the possibilities. Now we are seeing, bring it to a broader range of 10,000 to 30,000 or at least a 20,000 rank range. The difference being, here let us say there are 40 to 50 institutes, here you will end up with 100 institutes. That additional effort you will possibly have to do till the time the counseling, till the actual results are displayed on June. We expect the actual results on June 14th. Last time it was published on June 4th. And you will get your scorecard too. But by the time you get a reference on by the end of this month on the answer key and the marks, mostly you will get an idea of how everybody has done. Somebody who has done equivalent to you, how many marks you are expecting, and etc., etc., that you will get an idea. So now that is what you need to do. Below 10,000 to 25,000, between 10,000, below 10,000 to 25,000 or even up to 30,000 ranks, I will be taking as a rank range. So this is the range I might be able to get. Very large range, but that is fine. I will take this as a range and start my process now. as against thinking whether I will should start with 10,000, whether I should start with 30,000. That is the only way out, being the first year where this difficulty level for has been observed. Even if it is lesser, please be ready for that, because we have taken the worst case of a harsh prediction too, but still it might be worse. So be ready for that too. Second, once ranks are released, when June 14th, we expect it to be a little earlier. Once ranks are released, this is something that we have been telling many people, but since every YouTube channel goes with marks and not ranks, everybody uses ranks, but once ranks are released, only rank matters. What matters is your All India rank. Let us say my All India rank is 10,000. My mark is 610, 540 is no longer relevant. What is purely relevant is my All India rank on June 14th once the results are released. That is because you obviously have 9,999 candidates above you. Last year's does not, marks is not any reference. What was last year's mark for 10,000 is not any reference. What is your reference is for my rank 10,000, what was available last year, not for your marks. These are no longer relevant. For my rank 10,000, what was available last year, and what are the 9,999 candidates above me going to do? Their marks are also not relevant, whether it is 1 mark higher, where there are so many people above me. Even if the candidate has the same rank, same mark, he is just above you, he is going to pick up a seat above you. He or she will pick up a seat above you. So all those 999 people above you is what matters. Your rank is what matters. Their marks do not matter. Your mark does not matter after the rank is published. Go with ranks. Forget your marks. Next step you will query that you will have is what will be my state counselling rank. After June 14th, you will not get your you will get your All India rank, but you will not get your state rank. The state rank is your position within your state, correct? That will be defined only after your state publishes the application form. Let us say you are applying for your state. You belong to the state of Karnataka. Karnataka will publish an application form from KEA, and after that everybody will apply. They will check, validate all the applications, and then ensure that only the valid applications are taken into the counselling process. Then they will publish a rank list or a merit list. This will take possibly July, mid or end of July is when this will happen. So you will come to know your state ranks only a month after the results are published, minimum 1.5 months after the results are published, because all the results are shared. Then there is an application form that starts. Maybe by July mid or July end is when you will know your state rank. Till that point in time, you can work around with your All India rank. How will your All India rank versus state rank correlation work? I have an All India rank. It is 10,000. State rank, I don't know. I want to refer to my state rank. What will be my state rank? You can go with last year, because there might not be a huge difference. Some difference might be there, but last year's All India rank 10,000, you belong to the state of Tamil Nadu, let us say. Last year's All India rank 10,000 was, let us say, 1,200 state rank. This is a reference, not the right reference, but in Tamil Nadu. You can take this as a reference. There might be a difference because Tamil Nadu candidates keep performing better every year in NEET PG, let us say. This year they have performed better than last year. So this might go down a little. You can accommodate for such a 10%, 15% deviation, and then take the state rank, and then go ahead and figure out later too. So initially you will get your All India rank. Work with your All India rank, knowing that state rank differences might be very, very less, not too different, too much of a deviation will be there. When you take 10,000 candidates within India, the top 10,000 candidates in India, the number of candidates who will apply for your state will be the same, almost the same compared to last year. Not major difference has been observed over the last many years. So once your All India ranks are released, take that, and then this rank range is no longer required. Take that exact rank after June 14th or whenever it is released. That will be sufficient for moving ahead to the next stage. All that matters ever is how many candidates are above you, not your marks. So throughout, don't even look at the marks unless you belong to any of NCC or any such categories where there is a percentage addition in terms of marks. Should we wait? Okay, so now we look at the next part. This will kind of be the framework that we will be using for looking at multiple seats and what all are available. Rank range of 10,000 to 30,000 is what it is. First, what is the eligibility and possibility is what Vishnu would be looking at, right? He'll be looking at a rank range of 10,000 to 30,000. I am at this rank range. I am going to be at this rank range. Best case, possibly 10,000 or slightly less. Worst case, I will be at 30,000. I am going to be ready for both. Obviously, first thing is the choice of course. MBBS, 4.5 years plus 1 year internship. If you are looking at alternate options, this will help you. Other than MBBS, we support on MBBS and BDS. We are not into Ayush yet, even though we have the information, we are not into Ayush yet. MBBS and BDS, MBBS is 4.5 years course with 1 year internship. Whenever you go for this 4.5 years, the primary thing is not only the year, in terms of the 5th year, what is the fee, whether it is full fee or half year fee which is being taken by the institute. Always get that. In a government institute it is not a problem, but very rarely some institutes and deemed institutes etc., they take a 5th year full fee. So if that is a huge amount and you are possibly giving everything, deciding based on that particular differential, then you have to take that into account. And there is a 1 year internship, and beyond that some states have a bond. Bond is a service that the state, that the MBBS candidate has to do after completing this 5.5 years. They will complete 5.5 years. After that, in some states, you have to do a 1 year bond or a 2 year bond. And post that, you might be able to do your PG. Some states have a relaxation saying you need not do your bond, you can go for PG, come back and do your bond. Or some states, many states have a bond penalty clause where you can pay some amount and get away from this bond. Usually after completing your MBBS, most of this and internship, the 5.5 years, once you complete MBBS plus 1 year, most of the students will want to do their PG. Obviously right now, being parents, you would know that there is a post graduation that is there after your MBBS, and that possibly is not even an end destination. There is a super specialty possibility after that, and some for some candidates at the end of PG they end. There are not possibly many candidates who end with an MBBS plus 1.5 years. They go for a PG. In that scenario, the bond conditions, number of years of bond, and what is the penalty if you have get a PG seat. If you want to go for a PG seat, what are the different conditions etc. vary. So why we are saying this is, your MBBS course is 4.5 years plus 1 year, but you should also know that if there is a bond that exists that you cannot break, then it is possibly another additional X years. Some states like let us say Tamil Nadu do not implement, they have a 5-year bond on paper, you will sign the bond but it is not implemented. So those implementation, I will sign a bond but I will not implement it, all these need to, but it is not implemented, so I will come out after 5.5 years and start preparing or doing my PG. That is also something that you need to be aware of. Similarly for BDS it is 4 years plus 1 year internship, and for other courses, Ayush it is 4.5 years plus 1 year. BSc nursing, under all central universities, wherever there is a BSc nursing seat, and under military nursing services, wherever there is a BSc nursing seat in those institutes, NEET is used for BSc nursing. NEET is not mandatory for BSc nursing. So if you're looking at some of the states which have not accepted NEET in principle, MBBS, BDS, Ayush, anyways NEET is mandatory. BSc nursing, NEET is not mandatory. Some states might have their own processes which they used to have earlier, either a separate examination or based on the +2 marks, a combination, a logic of on +2 marks etc. Similarly for BVSC and allied health courses, paramedical courses or even pharma courses etc., NEET might or might not be used depending upon which state or authority you belong to. Even certain states can use, certain states can go back to the authority and use NEET UG for any course that they want to use these ranks for, but there are very minimal other courses that they use for. Usually it is only for medicine, given that it is a biology based examination. And MBBS seats, we will look at the list of seats which are in MBBS. This part is very critical because you have, let us say, 1.18 lakhs seats approximately. If your rank is within 10,000 etc., your choices remain simple. 15,000, your choices remain simple because you know that you will get MBBS. You belong to the general category, let us say. You know that you will get MBBS if you, in some state, you move from 15,000 to 20,000, 25,000 rank. Depending upon the state, there is possibly a government versus private question that comes into play. Whether I need to move to another state, that question comes into play. I do not get a good institute in my state, but I get it under All India quota in the state of, let us say, lesser preferred states. I am getting it in Assam, I belong to Kerala. Should I go for these options? Those come into play. So anybody who is within this range possibly will be in a comfortable position being able to choose, but anybody who's beyond that will have a lot of questions, which means there are possibilities, n number of possibilities, and within that n number I might have to choose one. It is not a direct one counseling. I go, I fill in my choices, 10 choices are there, I will get one of these. That might be possible only for this range. Beyond that, there will be a lot of possibilities thrown up. One of the examples is in terms of fee. I have a good institute at a fee structure of 7 lakhs per annum, but a private institute, a very good institute, versus a very below average institute in a peripheral location. Not so comfortable, I'm not so comfortable with that state, but I get a government seat at 50,000 per annum. Now, this is a question. What? A peripheral state, a peripheral location in a state I am not preferring. So, maybe the last preferred seats, but it is a government seat at 50,000 per annum versus a 7 lakhs per annum seat, which is a very good institute, a private seat, but a very good private institute. There are a lot of good private institutes. Should I choose this versus this? These options throw up. The right way to approach all these is to look at every MBBS seat that is available for us. Don't leave out any seat because I will get one seat. The last preferred seat is what I am getting. I will definitely 100% get that. So I am not thinking beyond my counseling. My counseling is the state counseling. I know only my state counseling because my neighbor and others have told me only about my state counseling. I don't know about my neighboring state where there is an excellent institute. I will not send my kid to that institute. Please take some effort to at least go to that institute, check. We usually give an example of, let us say, institutes which are minority institutes. There are excellent institutes in Karnataka there are some very good institutes in Karnataka which are minority institutes. There are options for other state minority candidates to also apply in some of these institutes. Let's take St. John's. St. John's is one of the best institutes. Other state candidates can apply for these institutes. We have seen candidates in certain states paying 20 lakhs per annum, 25 lakhs per annum, 15 lakhs per annum to a very below average private institute, even though they have scored enough ranks to get into this Karnataka institute, St. John's, through the minority quota. They do not have information that they are eligible for this. They do not have information that it is just 12 lakhs per annum for these seats. And they also may not have had information that they can apply for these seats. And if they visit St. John's once, this entire thing changes. They might go to this institute, figure out how it is. St. John's, excellent institute. So they go there, they know that it is a safe place. You can have your kid there and the reference from seniors will make a huge difference. So never be thinking that this is fine. I am okay with it because I am getting MBBS. What all other options are available? That is something that you need to look at. So start with eligibility possibility. There is only one All India counseling. We will tell you what seats come under All India counseling. You might have an idea, but we will take you through that. There are 38 plus state counselings. Not that you will be eligible for all the 38 plus. You don't need to keep looking at all the 38 plus. Within this, there will be a lot of counselings which have open seats. In case you are looking only at government seats, it's a different thing. You might be eligible only for your state or possibly where you have studied, done your schooling, where your parents are origin of, etc. Only those states you might be eligible for, and that too in one state possibly you might be able to look at government seats. So you have an All India counseling where everybody is eligible for, and then one state counseling. Beyond that, if you are looking at private institutes, alternate options, etc., then there might be a few states, at least 10 to 11 states, minimum good states offering private institute seats for other state candidates. These are called open seats usually. So these seats, everybody can apply for these seats, and some of these seats might even be available at very low fee range, like in terms of Kerala, where these are available at a low fee structure, around 15% of private institute seats. They call it again private institute seats available across India. So those options, please explore before limiting yourself to your state options and paying huge fee structures, huge amounts for your state institutes. There might be far better institutes in other states which you are eligible for. There are also central pool seats. We will not take you through these in detail. These are all a set of seats. Around 254 seats are there. These are some things that no one possibly would have mapped. We have mapped all the 254 seats. These are actually nominated seats which are surrendered to the central government by institutes. So basically there are 49 or 50 odd institutes, or possibly around 79 institutes, I think, which surrender 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats to the central government, and they distribute these seats through a proper methodology to ministries, MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Defense, etc. Those wards of those who are employed over there, then they also distribute them to Jammu and Kashmir immigrants or refugees of or terrorist victims, and then Tibetan refugees, and so on. And they also distribute them to northeastern states. If you belong to a northeastern state, there are a lot of seats in good colleges, Lady Harding, MAMC, Lady Harding, and similar colleges MAMC might have. So those colleges donate those seats. I think VMMC has around UCMS has around 6 seats or so. So you get the numbers. We will have the numbers if you want. Those seats are surrendered and these are allocated through a proper process. In case you have eligibility in any of these, you might be able to avail these seats through a proper process in some of the best institutes even. And in case you belong to a union territory, northeastern states, you can touch base with us. We'll tell you where these seats are available and how they are allotted. These are around 254 seats. This is part of our process of not missing out any seat. That is where we identified that these are the seats which come through the central pool. And we will go through the type of institutes offering MBBS. We will possibly stop today. Oh, what is the time? Okay, we will possibly stop today with this. Like we said, it is a very, very long process. Each process we will take you through individually, one by one, very, very slowly, so that you get to understand every part of the process. You don't miss out. Right now, when we are looking at this, you can even note down what each part is. It might look simple, but noting down will help you understand the entire process and take a decision. So here you have state government institutes. So first set of institutes, we are looking at entity wise. What is the type of an institute and how are those seats distributed, which will help you. What is a state government institute? Let us take the example of Maharashtra. Seth GS is a state government institute. Who runs the institute? Medical college? The government of Maharashtra. It comes under the government of Maharashtra, not the central government. It is a government institute, not a private institute. So one state, second it is a government. So that is one. Similarly, let us say you have, you take for example in Tamil Nadu, Madras Medical College. You take let us say Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute in Karnataka. Andhra Medical College, Kozhikode Medical College. All these are government medical colleges run by the state. So each state will have between 40 medical colleges to maybe even 1 to. Nagaland has 1 medical college recently, making every state, the last state to have a medical college. There are few union territories which still don't have a medical college, but right now across India, every state at least has 1 government medical college. So 1 medical college, not government medical college, at least 1 medical college. Now here you have all these such institutes. There are a whole lot of how many such institutes? So many institutes that are there, which maybe 390, 400 plus institutes. All of them have maybe around 40,000, 50,000 seats, 45,000, 46,000 seats. All of them contribute 15% to All India quota. So if I have seats in say GS, let us say Madras Medical College has 250 seats. 15% of that, which means 37.5, 37 or 38 seats will be surrendered to All India quota, to the center basically, or to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which will term these seats are All India quota, and these are available for every candidate across India. So these 37, 38 seats do not have a domicile, like only Tamil Nadu candidates can participate. Let us say for say GS has 200 seats. This is an example. Now 30 seats, 15% will again go into All India quota. Similarly, so 30 plus 38 from Madras Medical College, total 68 into All India quota. Similarly, every state's institute will contribute 15%, and that itself will come to around 8,000 plus seats. We will see the exact numbers across India, for which everybody is eligible for. You might be from the state of Gujarat, you might be eligible, you will be eligible for this 30 seats under All India quota. So that contribution goes in from every state government institute. The possible only difference is this Army College of Medical Sciences, which is a Delhi based institute, which is primarily for army professionals, wards of army professionals, and within the state quota of Delhi. So that alone does not contribute 50%. The other institutes, all state government institutes, contribute 50% to All India quota. So that is one thing that we need to know. The rest 85%, where does this go? That goes into the what is called the state quota. So in 250, after you take away in Madras Medical College, after you take away the 15% under All India quota, the rest 212 will be available for the state. Which state? The state where the institute belongs to. MMC, Tamil Nadu. Let us say GS, 200 seats if there are there. 30 will go into All India quota, 170 will be under the Maharashtra State Counselling. Who is responsible for allotting this? Maharashtra for Sage GS 170 seats, Tamil Nadu for the 212 seats of Madras Medical College. Similarly, every state will be responsible for these state quota seats. So out of all the government institutes in the state, 85% will come under the state quota, and that counselling will be conducted by the government. Who conducts the All India quota? There is a body called MCC, Medical Counselling Committee, which will get all the 15% from every institute and then run the counselling. 15% from every state government institutes. The government will surrender saying, we are giving you 37 seats, 30 seats, 7 seats, 15 seats, depending upon the total number from each institute, and that will be run by MCC. Everybody is eligible for this. Within that, there might be reservation, but no state based limitation is there. All are eligible for this set of seats under All India quota. Now the next set is central universities or institutes in Delhi. You have good institutes, amazingly good institutes. Some of the top institutes after AIIMS, you will see that the top closing institutes are the institutes in Delhi. You have a very good rank, then these might be possible. Don't miss them out because of a location constraint or because you think that some of the institutes it is far away, etc. Delhi has some of the best institutes in India. Maulana Azad Medical College, Lady Harding, VMMC, Vardhaman Mahavir, etc. So these central universities, who manages these? These institutes or universities are under the central government, under MOHFW, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. They also contribute 15% to All India quota. So this plus this, both are contributed to All India quota. Who runs this counselling? MCC runs this counselling. But there is this 85%, right? The rest 85% in this, they are available only for Delhi candidates who have completed 11th or 12th in Delhi. This is also run by MCC, but like All India quota, we said everybody is eligible. These only Delhi candidates are eligible. However, counselling is conducted by MCC because these are central seats. We will come to that later when we run a session on All India counselling, what all seats are available, what will be available for you, how to manage that, we will come to that. So we have All India quota where even central university 15% seats are available. Next we have the big chunk, the brand AIIMS. AIIMS has 20 institutes. Out of these 20 institutes, all seats, AIIMS is under an AIIMS Act, which is this is an institute of national importance. They are called institutes of national importance. Any ranking you see, AIIMS Delhi will be the first institute, but the last AIIMS which was started, last few, they may not be as good as some of these institutes in other states that we have talked about. So just we shouldn't ideally be going with the AIIMS brand, but within the AIIMS brand, which ones are good, which ones are the newest, which ones don't even have an infrastructure. Some of the newest AIIMS don't have an infrastructure, we should be aware of. But all of these are supposedly to be of very good standards, and anyways over a period of 5 years they are supposed to have been developed. One or two are still having issues, but we will need to know. All these 20 institutes, every seat in those 20 institutes are available for everyone. These are also through which counseling? MCC counseling. MCC was the one which is conducting AEQ seats 15%. They also do the counseling for 100% of AIIMS seats, exactly like All India quota. These also everybody is available, eligible, everybody across India. So we'll just take a break for a quick switch and okay. So now we have taken AIIMS. Note that the point is, let us say you are getting into AIIMS, you still have to evaluate AIIMS versus, let us say AIIMS last, you get AIIMS, one of the recent institutes of AIIMS versus a good central university that you are getting, excellent ones, versus the best institutes in your state. Not necessary that AIIMS is always better than these institutes. It depends upon the exact institute. Obviously, AIIMS Delhi is ranked on in every forum that you go, every ranking that is done. AIIMS Delhi is the top, but the rest of it, depending upon the institute, you will have to decide. Next, you have Banaras Hindu University. This is in Varanasi. The institute is called Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University. Excellent institute. All seats, 100% of BHU seats. There are around 100 seats. So all the seats are available for all candidates across India, similar to AIIMS. So this All India quota is available for everyone. This is also available for everyone. Counseling happens through MCC, and that is again you will have to apply through MCC for these seats. Next we have the possibly the second or third best medical college, depends upon who does the ranking in India, AFMC Pune. AFMC Pune is Armed Forces Medical College Pune. This is under the Armed Forces Medical Services, under our Indian Army. There is a medical services wing. Under that you have a medical college, Armed Forces Medical Services Pune. 145 seats are available in Armed Forces Medical Service College Pune. 115 boys plus 30 girls. This again you have to register in Medical Counseling Committee under All India Counseling. You have to register there, but it is not just based on your NEET score. All these seats will purely be allotted based on your NEET rank. Whoever is the first rank will get the best seat out of it. Second rank will get whatever is available after the first rank is taken seats, so on. But here, this is, they will call up a set of people, around 1600 boys plus 400 girls. They will call up for an evaluation. The evaluation will be at AFMC Pune, highly competitive. There will be a medical examination, physical fitness criteria based. Then there will be a test on English and logical reasoning. That will be a written test, and there will be a psychological assessment and also an interview process. After this, they will select this 145 candidates. Another 5 was allotted to foreign nationals sponsored by the government, but a total 150 seats. 145 are completely available. This is one of the best institutes, but in terms of bond, like we already mentioned, they have increased it to a 7-year bond. Many of them still go to AFMC. By the time they come out, They have options in terms of PG. They can complete their PG, etc. in armed forces institutions itself. First preference is given to them. So this, many of them still go preferring AFMC. The 7 years bond, you have to serve there for 7 years or pay up 69 lakhs if you plan to leave. So that is something that we should be aware of before moving in. But one of the best institutes, and this bond is not a limitation for many. JIPMER, again an institute of national importance. There are 243 JIPMER seats. JIPMER has 2 campuses. Whenever you are filling in choices, some of these things make a big difference. We don't understand what one campus versus another campus is in terms of academics, education, infrastructure, faculty, etc. We might make the wrong choice. Just like we said, AIIMS is good. It is not like that. It depends on the AIIMS. Similarly, JIPMER has 2 campuses. Pondicherry campus has 182 seats and the Karaikal campus has 61 seats. This has seats available, one for on an open basis. Around 134 seats here are available on an open basis. Like all seats of AIIMS are open, only around 75% of JIPMER seats are open. Not every seat. The rest of them, around 48, are available for Pondicherry residents. So if you are a Pondicherry resident, you are eligible for JIPMER seats, but still this entire set of seats, both the open seats, if you are looking at, if you belong to Tamil Nadu, you belong to Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, etc., you can still avail these open seats if you have a good rank. But if you belong to Pondicherry, the counselling is not in Pondicherry state, with the Pondicherry state authority. Again, if you want JIPMER seats, Pondicherry might have other state institutes. JIPMER seats, you have to come to MCC and attend the counselling. You have to register for MCC for any JIPMER seat, either in Puducherry or Karaikal. And then you have Aligarh Muslim University. This is Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College in Aligarh within the university. Similar to IMS BHU, this is also a central university. You have 72 AMU open seats. The distinction here is that AMU, unlike all these seats, whatever we have spoken about, they all have central reservation in place. AMU seats are open. They are open for all domiciles. They do not have reservation. Category based reservation is not there. So these open seats, around 72 to 73 seats will be there, available for everyone. And there are also internal seats. AMU is possibly the only government institute within the All India Counselling where NRI seats are available. So within this government institute itself, 5 seats for NRI are available. If you are a non-resident Indian willing to opt for other NRI seats at a high fee structure, this might come in at a very low fee structure and a very good government institute. And they also have internal seats for those who have studied in AMU. So all these are allotted through MCC again. So we have seen this set of seats all being allotted through MCC only, and the All India quota seats also being allotted through MCC, Medical Counselling Committee under All India Counselling. And then you have the ESIC medical colleges. ESIC is Employee State Insurance Corporation medical colleges. There are around 11 medical colleges, and these medical colleges, some are operated by the state, some are operated directly by the ESI corporation itself. These medical colleges again contribute 15% under All India quota. Minimum 15%, some contribute a little higher too. Obviously, All India quota, who is allotting? MCC is allotting. So if you are looking at ESIC, All India quota seats, you will go to MCC. Some percentage of these, around 466 seats in total. Out of the total ESIC medical college seats, 467 seats are available for ESI members. If you are an ESI member, that is, your wages are less than 21,000, your organization is contributing on your behalf and you are also contributing to ESI corporation. A premium is given by you every month to ESI corporation as part of the statutory benefit. Then you are eligible if your ward, if your kid or if your son or daughter or your dependent is actually a NEET aspirant who has got into NEET now. So these are seats which might go up to even 70-75,000 rank possible. So as against 25,000 where government closes, these might close at far higher ranks. You might be able to get a seat. If you know of any ESI members too, basically, or somebody who is earning lesser wage, who is an aspirant, please check with them on whether they are interested in these seats. These seats are also allotted through MCC, but currently a ward certificate needs to be taken for getting these seats. There is a criteria on when you should have been by last September you should have started your ESI membership, etc. This is only till 21st of May. We will be running a session for this set of candidates separately. But otherwise you have your regular AAQ 15%. Like your state government seats, let us say there is a ESI medical college. West Bengal has ESI Joka. This percentage of seats in state quota, the state will run. So within ESI, you will have all India quota, for which way MCC will run, everybody is eligible. Within ESI medical colleges, you have ESI insured persons quota, again MCC will run that, but you have to get a certificate earlier itself now, and you have a percentage in state quota, which the state counselling. If you are looking at ESI seats in Haryana, Faridabad seats, then you have to look at the state counselling of Haryana. And we come to all these whatever we have discussed are either government institutes, state, central government, or come under the armed forces, or in the nature of corporations, which are quasi-government bodies, kind of government bodies, half government bodies. Now we will be looking at the private or deemed part. These are slightly different. There are around 57 deemed universities today offering MBBS, and possibly another 32 deemed universities offering BDS. Now, these deemed to be universities do not come under the state government. Like you have, let us say, MGM Navi Mumbai, you have DY Patil Navi Mumbai, you have Geetanjali in Rajasthan. You have not Geetanjali in Rajasthan, Geetam University in AP, and you have similar many universities. Like Amrita in Kerala. So all these are deemed universities, which are termed deemed to be universities, not exactly universities, but like universities. They are autonomous, they give their own certificates, they conduct their own exams. They do not come under the state council. So they are almost central in nature, which means there is some body which has to conduct the counseling, right? They are central in nature, state will not conduct the counseling. Therefore, this responsibility has again been given to MCC. All deemed university seats, irrespective of what any agent tells you, what anyone tells you, everything is allotted only through an online process where you will fill choices and you will get the seat. Even if somebody promises whatever seat for you at the end stage, etc., unless MCC allots, you cannot join any course today. That is all. The allotment of MCC is what the institute is supposed to admit, and that also goes to NMC, the National Medical Commission. There are very strict practices in place. There is no deviation possible. All deemed universities, you go to a deemed university today and check with them that you will get me a seat. They will tell you we will definitely get you a seat because they know your rank, and as against you getting a better seat, they will fill that their seat as the top and give you the seat, which you could have done yourself, just going into the portal, filling a choice, you would have got a better seat itself. So please don't go, or even if some agent or institute promises you saying that you will get this deemed university seat, that is only because they are doing your work, they will fill in their seat as the first choice. That is what is happening. So please ensure that you understand that you or somebody else who is actually falling into the trap understands that every seat is allotted only through a proper counseling. Here there is a split where NRI seats are there. 15% of seats can be NRI. So if there are 100 seats in an institute, 15 can be NRI, and the rest are paid seats. Usually the fee structure ranges anywhere from 25 lakhs or in some cases 20 lakhs to even up to crores for NRI per annum. That is per annum. So these seats are under MCC. And then you have the state private institutes. These are all private institutes. Private institutes are institutes that are under the state, under possibly a state university, or they have a private university, not a deemed university, not among these 52 deemed universities. Rest all are private institutes, self-financing institutes. Every state has them in plenty. Deemed universities might be big in higher number in states like Maharashtra, states like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, etc. But states like Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, etc. But private institutes are huge in Karnataka, Kerala, and even in Tamil Nadu, in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and all these states have a lot of private institutes or private universities. These 100% come under the state counselling. So what comes under the state counselling? Every seat of a state private institute comes under the state counselling, and every state government's 85% comes under the state counselling. So if you take the state of, let us say, Maharashtra, what will come under the Maharashtra state counselling? All the private institutes. D.Y. Patil is out because it is a private university, deemed university. Rest of the private institutes, SMBT. So all those private institutes, they come under, all the seats come under the state counselling. 85% of the government institute seats, say GS, LTM, Lokmanya Tilak, all these comes under the state counselling. That is how the entire process works. So like we already said, anything mentioned in red over here, all India quota, all these come under MCC counselling, and they, whatever you see under red over here, that come under MCC counselling, which is all India counselling, and the rest you can see we would have mentioned whether it comes under state or state quota or not. Here 100% under the state counselling, this part comes under the state quota, rest of it we would have mentioned where it comes under. Now also one more thing, these are all open states, whatever is under red or open seats, everybody is eligible. You get the snapshot and see all those under red, everybody is eligible for those seats. There might be reservation, let us say AIIMS has 100 seats, there might be reservation saying 27 are available for OBC, 40 are available for general category, etc. But still, there is no democile based limitation. All OBC candidates are eligible for this. Everybody, whether OBC or not, everybody is eligible for UR category seats. So this is how the entire set of seats are structured. We will quickly have a look at the numbers and then possibly move on to the total numbers. These are the number of seats that are available today. Not much of a reference. You don't need to look at the exact numbers. These are not going to be helpful. This is just for your reference in terms of what all seats are available. Every mapping is available in ZyNerd too in case you want to look at it. So that you can take. 53,000 government seats are there, of which 15% will be under All India quota. Similarly, 5 institutes, central universities in Delhi or IP University of Delhi, 2,207 AIIMS seats. One thing we missed out here in AIIMS is that in AIIMS Delhi alone, there are 7 seats for OCA or foreign nationals. If you are from a different country, or if you know someone from a different country who's ready to, who has attempted NEET UG counselling and looking at seats, or if you are an overseas citizen of India, foreign citizen, but you have an overseas citizen of India card, then you will be eligible for AIIMS open seats in AIIMS Delhi's 7 seats which are in AIIMS Delhi. So that alone is a specific difference. And then you have one institute BHU, and you have AMU which has 150 seats. JIPMER 243 seats we already mentioned, AFMC Pune 150 seats which we already mentioned, and ESI medical colleges 11 institutes which is 1355 seats which are split this way. And you look at the biggest chunk, 11,200 deemed to be university seats and 48,100 state private institute seats. In deemed alone, we said all the seats come under All India Counselling. Karnataka and Jharkhand, one institute, Manipal Tata in Jharkhand, and Karnataka around 6 institutes. Those alone contribute some to the state counselling. When we do those counsellings, we will let you know what are those seats. So this is the entire set of seats in 2024. Around 7,000, 8,000 are expected to be added this year. We will also map every one of those seats and give you information. This is the total numbers you have. Trying to map every seat, trying to figure out if I am eligible for those seats and attend all those counsellings will get you the best seat. That is the best approach that we would suggest. Not overdoing, but still whatever is possible, feasible, and what I am interested in. Government private seats and deemed seats, you see that the total number of private and deemed seats has just overshot the government seats. Between last year, there was an increase of around 10,940 seats. This is 2023 versus 2024. Based on the budget, we are expecting budgets. It was proposed that there might be an increase of 75,000 total MDMS plus MBBS seats in the next 5 years. Maybe around 10k seats would increase. So this is the increase of last year. We are expecting an increase this year too. Government may not increase in huge numbers because the two bigger states, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, have increased government seats to a great number last year. So might not be a huge increase this year. you will have to see that. So we will come to All India Counselling and State Counselling in our next sessions. We will take you through All India Counselling, what are the seats available, how to approach, and then State Counselling, what are the seats available, and the eligibility criteria, what all you need to look at for State Counselling. This is the next step you will do. After looking at possibility, after looking at the entire set of seats, you will look at eligibility and then the possibility part. We will take you through that in the next session in detail. And if you want information, you can always join us. We will also take you through the top institutes and how to evaluate each institute, certificates required. These are the processes that we need to do over the next few weeks before the counselling starts. Every part of the counselling, including every rules, etc., we will take you through. And we have an offer for you in case you are interested in counselling with us, in counselling guidance from us. We have a special offer. You can use the code MC500 and register now in ZyNerd. You will be able to get access to experts over calls. You will have support throughout the counselling in terms of every query, rule, etc. It is available at 4,999 plus 4,100 plus GST, and there is an additional offer too. So this is for the entire counselling. What usually is provided at around 25,000, 50,000, ZyNerd is providing at a very, very low price, but full support throughout the counselling process, right from the start of the process till the end of the admissions, whenever that is. So that we do help you. We don't do direct admissions. All admissions, even if somebody says that they do direct admissions, they can talk to an institute. No admission happens directly. This is an ethical process. We guide you so that you get the best seat, you don't miss out on anything. Our community is there. You can join our WhatsApp community. It is available. The link is available in YouTube. And you have any questions, we will just try to take a few questions if it is